In the construction industry, manually lifting heavy construction materials is a leading cause of strains and sprains, including lower back pain and injuries. These injuries lead to higher insurance premiums and cost workers and employers billions in lost productivity, medical costs, and lost wages. Here's a simple equation. Safety plus MMH, that is, manual materials handling, equals savings for contractors and workers. Following safe materials handling practices can help businesses save money, increase productivity, and win new work. It saves workers from painful injuries, lost workdays, and lost wages. Developing and implementing a structured plan for how materials will be delivered, stored, lifted, and moved that minimizes manual materials handling can help keep projects on schedule and reduce the risks for strains and sprains on the job. That is why the goal of Best Built Plans is to build safety into every job. This free resource for your business is designed to boost awareness and use of safer material handling practices and help you avoid an injury that could seriously impact your business and your employees. Best Built Plans has tools to help you plan and to train your employees for each project stage: bidding, pre-job, and on the job. Plus, at the end of the project, you can look back to identify what worked well so that you can apply what you learned to your next project. There are training resources in the planning tool and other interactive training and coaching resources that show the injury risk if materials are too heavy, lifted from the ground or above waist height, or lifted and carried while in an awkward posture, and introduce safe practices that can be downloaded and used in a class or on their own to reinforce safe practices. Let's go through a case scenario of Best Built Plans in action. Roberto of Empower Construction has reviewed a new bid solicitation that is looking for contractors with good safety records. The instructions say that bids must include how materials will be safely stored, lifted, and moved on the project. Roberto intends to bid on the project. He uses the questions, prompts, worksheets, and resources in the bid section of the Best Built Plan site planning tool to help write his proposal. Empower is pleased to learn they've been awarded the project. Before the job starts, Roberto meets with Betsy, who will be the Empower foreman on the project, and other key staff to review what they put in the bid and walk through the pre-job portion of Best Built Plan site planning tool. Roberto wants to make sure everyone is clear on what's in the plan and what needs to be done to implement it, including how and when construction materials will be delivered, stored, lifted, and moved, the weights of the building materials, and when lifting equipment and team lifts will be used, and most importantly, the training that all workers will receive on the plan for safe material handling and proper lifting in advance of the move. Roberto uses the Foundations for Safety Leadership training program to make sure they understand the importance of encouraging workers to speak up if there's a materials handling or other safety hazard, and to solicit workers' input on resolving the problem. Roberto reviews the on-the-job section of the planning tool and the resources available, including the checklist that will be completed and reviewed each day before work begins to make sure the material handling plan is implemented. The afternoon before work starts, Betsy uses the Best Built Plan's daily planning checklist to make sure the logistics behind the plan are ready to be executed. With the checklist in hand, she performs a complete walkthrough of the job site and confirms that the materials to be lifted are raised off the ground to minimize bending when lifting. The hand truck is positioned close to the stack and ready to use, and the path for moving the hand truck to where the materials will be used is cleared of obstructions. The next morning, Betsy leads a toolbox talk on materials handling in English, while her co-worker Oscar leads the same talk in Spanish with another group. A worker in each group is asked to review the checklist for the day, including the materials that will be used, where the materials are stored, the lifting equipment available, and how the workers are supposed to lift and move the materials. Betsy and Oscar thank the workers and remind them to put their training on safe materials handling into practice and to speak up if lifting equipment isn't available or if there's a safer way to move the materials. Before the huddle ends, Betsy and Oscar let the workers know that the Toolbox Talk will be posted and reminds them to scan the QR code located on the graphic to play the Best Built Plans Lit Coach games on their smartphones during their lunch break. 2 workers volunteer to play and boast about how they will outscore each other. Once the project is completed without incident, Roberto thanks Betsy and her team for making sure their materials handling plan was implemented and was a successful project. As a final step, Roberto and Betsy meet and review the look-back questions in the planning tool to evaluate what they did well and ways to improve the materials handling process on future projects. CPWR's Best Built Plans tools are valuable resources that can help your company reduce injuries, contain costs, and improve productivity. A contractor who successfully plans for reduced manual materials handling builds a reputation for safety and timely job completion that they can cite in their bids. These planning steps are the foundation of successful jobs and healthy businesses. Best Built Plans build safety into every job. To access the Best Built Plans website and tools, visit www.bestbuiltplans.org.